of our Wednesday webinar. And the topic today will be featuring having fun with healthy classroom parties. My name is Caroline Rafadal Blanco, and I am the Regional Manager with Action for Healthy Kids. And I'm joined today with Allison Howe, who's a member of our Colorado Action for Healthy Kids state team, as well as a blogger and school health advocate at her kids' school. So today we're going to be going over a lot of great resources and tips to give you some ideas and information about how you can host a healthy school party or event at your school. So before we get started, just a few logistics. Everyone is in muted only mode. So as you can see on your right-hand panel is your control panel. And if you do have any questions, you can submit them through the question box, and we'll be answering questions throughout the webinar. And then we'll also be following up after the webinar. The call is being recorded, so we will be sending a follow-up email with the recording, the PowerPoint slides, as well as the resources that we're going to discuss today. So just sit back and enjoy the webinar presentation, and then we will be sending all of the follow-up information after today's webinar. So a little bit of background information before we get started. Some background information about Action for Healthy Kids. We're a national nonprofit organization that's focused on fighting childhood obesity, undernourishment, and physical inactivity by helping schools become healthier places. Action for Healthy Kids is comprised of moms, dads, teachers, students, school and community leaders, representatives, school health professionals who have banded together to create a healthier learning environment for our children. We believe that everyone has a part to play in ending the nation's childhood obesity epidemic, and our programs, tools, and resources really help to make that possible. We were founded in 2002 by former Surgeon General Dr. David Satcher, and today we have more than 60,000 members, constituents, and networks. We also partner with dozens of professional associations, government agencies, and corporations at the national and local levels. So at Action for Healthy Kids, we help our members and supporters learn about the issues, take action at their schools, and really work to transform their school cultures. So for today's webinar, our goals are really to help look at a three-tiered approach of learn, act, and transform, as you can see here on your screen. So our goals for today's webinar is to walk away understanding the importance of healthy classroom parties in schools and its connection to learning. Also, really focusing on the celebrations as well. We'll share information on why healthy classroom parties and wellness events at schools can be so important. And then this will help you move to the second tier, the ACT, where you can gather ideas and strategies on how to take action to integrate healthy options and wellness activities at your school and at your school's classroom events as well. And this, in turn, will help transform your school culture for the long term by integrating healthy school-wide classroom parties and events to ensure that every kid in your school is healthy and ready to learn. So what exactly is a healthy school food culture? It's one in which there's a focus on school policies and practices that consistently make the healthy choice the easy and desirable one. It really helps make the easy choice for kids. That's including during the school day, during special events, really focusing on health and wellness. It also focuses on school staff that serves as role models for healthy eating habits, whether it's parents, volunteers. They help really role model healthy eating habits in the classroom, the lunchroom, the hallways, at the office, teacher's lounge. Kids really look to teachers, parents to serve as that role model. And then students also receive consistent messaging about healthy eating across all aspects of the school, during the class time, snack time, as a reward, at celebrations or at school events. Parents can control some of these practices and it can have some influence over others, but these changes in these areas have a big impact on the overall school food culture. So really encourage you to check with your local school and their wellness policies and see how that factors into, school events and classroom parties for wellness activities. So the benefits about a healthy food culture is that it really helps support classroom lessons. Food policies and practices reflect curriculum standards for health and nutrition rather than conflicting with them. A healthy school food culture encourages the consumption of nutrient-rich foods and contributes to good health. Students are less likely to suffer from conditions such as obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and cavities, which are becoming more prominent in the youth. A healthy school food culture also publicly demonstrates a school's commitment to promoting healthy behaviors among its students, families, staff, really sending a message that health is a top priority. And a healthy school food culture also creates excitement about nutrition. It's really fun when kids get to cut up all of these food items, menu items, to taste test, to sample, and really be a part of that involvement as well. When nutritious foods are presented in a fun and engaging way, students are eager to get involved. And so that brings us to the learning connection. Healthy kids learn better. This is so important. Research clearly shows that good nutrition is linked to better behavior and academic performance. So that's exactly what schools want to hear, is how are these wellness programs and these healthy options making a difference? Well, research really shows the improvement in academic performance. Action for Healthy Kids has the learning connection, so you can use this to learn more about how physical activity, healthy eating, and learning equips students for academic success. While you have an instinctive understanding of why a healthy school food culture is important, the rest of your school community may not. So you can really use this as a resource. It's a study that you can showcase as well that has talking points included that you can show to your key stakeholders at your school. Building support is really critical for long-term success to really help improve your school wellness environment. So we want to talk about some best practices as well. Before we get into some specific ideas, and Allie is going to go over some great ideas that she's actually done at her kids' schools, we also want to keep in mind that when you're implementing any project or practice that impacts your school food culture, you're always working with your local school representatives, so your teachers and your principals. You want to start by making healthy options standard whenever foods are shared at parties, fundraisers, school events, celebrations, in and out of the classroom, so it doesn't send conflicting messages to schools. So it's really great to start in one area and really begin to incorporate that within your school wellness program. Some best practices as well, as you can see from the images on the slide, is really choosing fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, low-fat, fat-free dairy options whenever possible at your school events. So here are some images where you can see they've used food art. Anyone who's looked at Pinterest has seen the variety of different options that are feasible to do for parents, for teachers, for the volunteers to put together to make it fun for kids to eat these healthy options. It's really important to also incorporate water as a beverage at parties. As you can see in this image, water was just decorated and placed before some of the sugary drink options. And as we noted at the school party, a majority of the kids took the water instead of the sugary drink packet. Also having your hummus dressed up or some other whole grain snack options. USDA offers some school food guidelines, and so it's great to look at some different options for a variety of healthier food choices for parties. Also, you want to limit unhealthy food choices or even eliminate food choices. This can really interfere with nutrition education, send conflicting messages about what we value, and really makes it harder for kids to internalize healthy habits. We want to give them some choices, and we want to make healthy options the easier choice. This was actually a picture that I took at one of my daughter's school fiesta after school parties, and I'm sure you can guess which mom brought the fruit tray. So I wish I would have taken a before and after picture, because the fruit tray was completely gone. Even though they had all of these other great goodies that were colorful as well, kids were literally fighting over the watermelon and the honeydew. So if you do give healthy options, children will choose healthy options as long as they have those as a choice, and it's an easy choice for them too. Other ways to consider your classroom parties or events is to really shift the focus from food whenever you can. Try to incorporate hosting events which promote physical activity, music, art, and games. Depending where you're located, if weather's permitting, take any classroom parties or event activities outside in the playground and allow for kids to have that additional time to have physical activity. So our next category that we're going to talk about is getting into the detail of the healthy birthday parties, celebrations, and school events. So what many folks don't realize is that when we talk about birthdays, student birthdays and holidays are the most common events that schools celebrate. Depending on your school, at some schools, kids eat birthday treats as many as 25 times per year or more. So when you add in parties for holidays such as Halloween coming up, Valentine's Day, holiday parties over the winter break, the amount of calories from added sugar that a child can consume in the classroom over the course of the year is really, really staggering. A recent study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Education, and Behavior revealed that kids can eat as many as 1/3 of all the calories that they need in a day at a typical 30-minute birthday party. So that's anywhere from 350 to 450 extra calories. So any of you parents that know some of the larger sized cupcakes that come into the birthday parties can easily see how kids can overconsume sweet, sugary snacks. So here are some ideas for a healthier birthday celebration. And we have all of this information, like I mentioned, on our website, and it will be included in our follow-up email. So we want to ask individual teachers to establish birthday guidelines for their classroom, or see if the principal or PTA has any guidelines that are school-wide. So if parents want to bring in something for their kid's birthday, ask them to donate a favorite book to the classroom library, be able to read the book to the class, be the teacher's helper for the day as well. Offer some items for them to wear, such as a sash, a birthday sash, or let them be the line leader, or let them lead an activity for the day, and let the birthday child choose the activity. It could be anything depending for younger or older kids. If it's older kids, letting them listen to music during study hall, or let them do an activity. So as a parent, we can help the teacher with the logistics of sending birthday reminders and so forth as you're planning the event. Some other ideas for parties and other celebrations are, like I mentioned, give children extra recess time, have some sort of dance party where they're doing additional physical activity, invite the principal or other school staff to attend. That always gets kids excited. Getting kids involved also in the planning and preparing for the celebration. So let them make decorations if it's a holiday party, and let them choose the games. Having other types of art projects or crafts involved in the party. And then ask students to come up with some healthy party ideas. So having them choose some healthy food options or activity options. So it really helps get kids engaged. For Halloween, if they're able to come in their costume, this takes away from focusing on the snacks and offering healthy snacks as part of the event and activities. So there's activities, there's healthy food options, and then even looking at having the birthday party or holiday celebration earlier in the day so you can offer breakfast snacks too. Because as we know, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and it helps kids get started off to a right day. In regards to school events, we always want to incorporate wellness and promote health within school events too. So looking at your classroom parties and how that can extend outside of the classroom parties, the holiday parties, to any of your school events too. Focusing on activities where families can get involved too. So health fairs, school garden activities, screening of movies that promote healthy living, physical activity events. We know a lot of schools do fun runs, bike-a-thons, dance contests. In Georgia, one of our schools did dancing with dads and moving with moms. So there's lots of ways that you can incorporate physical activity and healthy food items into your school events too. So when food is part of a celebration or event, you want to make health the expectation and the easy choice. So like we discussed, offering a variety of healthy options, including fruits, vegetables, whole grains, promoting fruits and vegetables by arranging them in a really visually appealing way. This is some great fruit kebabs that were made by our Colorado Action for Healthy Kids state team, as well as some veggie wraps that had pretzel sticks for a holiday party. So really make it fun for kids. Connect with your teacher, school nurse, seeing if there are any food allergies. And if your school doesn't allow for you to bring in any home-baked or pre-cut foods, you can always bring in those items. You can always bring in like a fruit tray and have the kids assemble the fruit kebabs on their own and really omit any of the food allergens such as strawberries and so forth if any of the kids have that in the classroom. Here are some other healthy food ideas, and these are just some examples from resources that we'll also be including in the follow-up email. As you can see, you can find these resources online as well as on social media. It's really easy ways to get kids to eat more fruits, vegetables, drinking more water. Fruit-infused water has become so popular as well, and kids get so creative, and sometimes they just add such a variety of different types of fruit for the taste. I've had pineapple and cantaloupe in a fruit-infused water. One of the school districts as well, they get really creative with food art. So if we have any crafty parents out there or school representatives, it's a fun way to get kids to eat more fruits and vegetables. And just also the way that you're arranging all of these foods too really makes it more appealing for kids. So check out Action for Healthy Kids resources, Pinterest page as well. We have all of this information on our website. And now I'm going to pass it over to Allison Howe. She is a part of our Colorado Action for Healthy Kids state team. She's also a mom of 4, and she always stays busy. She's a blogger, as you can see here, her blog, Don't Panic Mom. She created that to really help her connect with the community, to focus on wellness, to really get more of a larger support from community representatives. She's also ran and participated in our Team Healthy Kids, one of our marathons, and she really has incorporated Action for Healthy Kids at her kids' schools to incorporate school wellness programs. So Allie's going to talk today about some how she got started and some great resources to help you out as well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, Allie. Hi, Allie. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me, Allie?
Hello. Yes. I am so excited to be here today to learn more about how to incorporate wellness into schools. And I just wanted to say hi to all of the attendees. Hopefully you can get a lot of little tidbits to take back to your buildings to make celebrations a little healthier and more exciting. So the first thing I want to talk to you today is really like the nitty-gritty logistics of how to make a healthy celebration happen at your school. So I might talk a little bit more from the perspective as a parent, but if you are a teacher or an administrator, just kind of flip it around so it resonates with you. So the most important thing is talking to your teachers, your principals early. Most teachers have already the semester already ahead, so if you can talk to them the first time you meet them and just send out a little vibe saying that you'd like to help and that you're just a big supporter of healthy food and healthy activity in the classroom, then the teacher will email you to when they need help or when you follow up with an email that you're a healthy parent. And to have both in a bad way with discussing things with that teacher that you start of help or it's a
Allie, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but your audio is cutting out a little. I'm not sure if your phone reception is working, but it's just breaking up a little bit. If you could see if you have an option to address that.
All right, Caroline, I will see what I can tweak.
It sounds perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So if you make the teacher feel like they're a bad guy for having sugar in the classroom, that will typically not lead to your objective of a healthier party. So if you try to be rosy and cheery and not make the teacher feel like they're a sugar villain. And you can do that by just always offering ideas that are healthy ideas. And I know that Caroline mentioned some really great fun things on Pinterest, but often teachers can get overwhelmed if it's something too crafty or something too elaborate. So when you are starting that early conversation, it's perfect if your suggestion is really realistic or simple. Another thing that teachers love that resonates well with them is if you give an example from another classroom with a similar age group. And always, I follow up with an offer to help. So I just make sure that the teacher knows that they don't have to do it alone and that I'm accessible and ready to either help myself or help them find other parent volunteers. Next slide. And like I mentioned before, it's great to rally other parents. And usually you can meet other parents at pickup or some other kind of family night that the school hosts. But usually a teacher will have a list for you that has other email addresses and phone numbers of parents who had expressed interest. So that way you can spread out the work and no one will be overwhelmed with the party planning. And sometimes people can get, well, if you're buying lots of fresh produce, it can add up. So if you delegate and have one family just bring one item and another family bring another item, then no one feels like they have to kind of foot a big bill for the food or the equipment for the party. And a favorite thing that I've loved to do with other parents in the classroom is to send pins to each other or to share a Pinterest board. And then we kind of have an idea of what we want to do, and then we delegate from there. So Pinterest and other social media is just such a fun way to quickly share ideas. And I've learned a lot of these things, both easy and the hard way. And the two big components about these healthy parties is the food and then the activities. So this slide is just all about the food side. And you want to be as specific as possible, because if I'm a busy mom or busy dad and I'm running to the grocery store on my way home from work for the party the next day, and I'm checking my texts or I'm checking my email, I don't want to guess how many oranges, or I don't want to guess how many tubs of yogurt. I just want to look really quick and say, okay, I know exactly what I need to bring. So you can help everyone be happy and have a successful party as long as you are more specific. So, and you can get a number of students in the classroom from your classroom teacher. And another thing I run into that I didn't expect to be a problem, but it was to tell parents where they need to bring their items. Some parents haven't been to the school before inside, so they won't know where the classroom is. Also, if you don't specify the time and it's something perishable, that could be a problem too. So, yes, I know I'm saying specificity a lot, but yeah, that's just going to help everyone want to work with you again on a healthy party if you're specific with what to bring, how many, and where to bring it. And some school districts have really strict classroom food policies, others don't. But make sure you ask your classroom teacher about any food allergies or other food policies that you need to respect before you send out all the assignments. Great, so last slide was about food, and now we'll talk about the activities. And I know for most kids that I've talked to, they prefer and they look forward to the activities more than the food. But if you're looking at something on Pinterest that you've never done before, it could take a lot longer than you expect. So a nice tip for planning activities for a healthy party is to do it at home with your own kids first, especially if it's something that's active that you'll need to give directions. That's another good task that you can practice at home, so you'll be a better instructor once you're in the big group at the actual party. And also when you're practicing, you'll see how many other adults that you'll need, especially for crafts with little kids that are just learning how to use glue sticks or that are just learning how to use scissors, that you'll need more adults. And again, just refer to that list that you generate from your classroom teacher to help get other adults in the room during your party. So now I'm just going to end with an example from a kindergarten party that I threw a few years ago in my son Finn's class. And approached me and she said, I don't want to do any planning at all for Halloween. It's yours. You know, she just kind of gave it to me. So I asked her for a list of parents, and we decided we wanted to do Healthy Bones. And she didn't really want it to be about food. She wanted it to be semi-academic. So that was another nice thing, is that we asked her kind of what her goals were for the party, and that helped us to generate our activities and our food from there. So in this kindergarten classroom, they love to do rotating centers. So we thought, since it was still the first semester and that they were still little kids, that it would be good to have a similar format. So we put together these different centers for them to do. And we got an x-ray from a local surgeon, and I think that's his receptionist's hand, if you see that x-ray picture. And then everything else I think we got on Pinterest. And the Q-tip skeleton was so easy, and the kids loved it. And yeah, so putting it together was pretty simple. I had about 5 other adults that were wanting to help and bring food, and most of them were able to come and help with their crafts as well. So I felt like we were well organized, and we had a lot of teacher support to do the healthy party. And the emphasis was about bones and not on food, which was exactly what she wanted. So we were able to get a lot of messages across about calcium. And one thing that wasn't a center that we did with all the kids was we dialed up a doctor on the phone, and we put him on speakerphone, and he gave like a 1-minute talk about healthy bones and that they needed to run and jump and play to build their, their bone strength. And then they asked him some questions, and it was really cute. But yeah, this was our menu, and no one had to do all of it. So every adult just had one thing. So no family had like a burden of bringing a whole bunch of stuff, and we kept it really healthy. And to keep things clean, we made sure the adult volunteers put stuff on plates and then brought them out to the table. And so that got us out of trouble, so we didn't have to get in trouble with the custodians, and then they were able to end in time because we had about 1 hour for everything. And my last slide are just things that I've kind of generated from talking with lots of kids. I work with students who are preschool through 5th grade every day, and I always ask them about the parties because I'm dying to know if they have healthy classroom parties at the different schools in my school district. And I had one student last year for the Christmas party, and he was so sad that all they did was get to eat cupcakes. He's like, I didn't even, he didn't want the cupcakes. What he wanted was games. And so I thought that was really interesting because I think kids, because they have sweets so frequently in a school district that doesn't have a strong wellness policy, they're really not looking for sweets. They're looking for something fun that's different. That's not a worksheet where they get to dance or move around. So I think that's just some feedback to all of you who are educators who think that the kids will be disappointed if there aren't sweets, that they really don't care that much about the sweets. They just want something that's special because celebrations are such a great part of our culture. And 2 other really great websites that I've used a lot as I've been networking and learning is School Bites, which is another mom blogger, and then Real Mom Nutrition. But if you have any questions, go ahead and let Carol or Action for Healthy Kids know, and I can get back to you via email if you have further questions about healthy classroom party planning.
Great. Thank you so much, Allie. Such great ideas, and we will have this information in the PowerPoint slides that will be sent in the follow-up email. And just want to, as we're wrapping up, remind everyone that we have all of these great additional resources on our website, Healthy and Active Classroom Parties. You just go to our website, click on Tools for Schools, Game On, and then you'll be able to find resources for a variety of school holiday parties, classroom parties, and so forth. We do have tip sheets and handouts available as well, so you'll be able to access those, download those, print those, share those with your community and parents as well. So just want to remind everyone to follow Action for Healthy Kids on social media, stay up to date with success stories, health tips, physical activity, games, recipes, volunteer opportunities, as well as ideas on how you can take action at your school. We do have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Flickr, and YouTube. So I want to thank everyone again today. If we did have any questions come in, we will answer those via email, and we will also be able to connect you with Allie as well if you want to follow up with any additional details. So thanks again, everyone, for joining our webinar series, and we look forward to having you join our future webinars. Have a great day.